Now, something to really watch is salinity. So in a perfect world, I like to run the salinity of my reef tanks at about 0.024, even 0.025. I'm not as impressed about 0.026. That's starting to get a bit high for me. I definitely don't want 0.027. By 0.028, I have some concerns. 0.029 seems to be a problem, and 0.030 is a big problem. Corals seem to die. The fish seem to be able to handle salinity much better if the salinity change is slow. If the salinity goes up fast, the fish seem to bomb out because it puts too much stress on their osmoregulation system. So I really want to encourage that you aim your salinity about 0.025. A top-up system is a really good idea because the top-up system is going to replenish your tank with RO water, providing you fill it with RO water. And my main concern about salinity is if it gets too high, it does tend to kill the corals. And if it gets too high and you add fish, it tends to kill the fish. So I do encourage using a quarantine tank when you get new fish, because that way you're able to introduce fish to the quarantine tank with a low salinity to match the shop that you've bought it from. Then you can slowly raise the salinity. And then when the salinity of the quarantine tank is the same as the main tank, you can introduce the fish straight into the main tank. If you don't have a quarantine tank, quarantine tanks can be hired these days, or of course bought. Probably the best thing you'll ever get. If you don't have a quarantine tank, then you either put the fish into high salinity and risk the fish, high salinity being 0.024, 0.025, or you lower the salinity, introduce the fish, and then slowly raise the salinity again. If you lower the salinity to introduce a fish, and then you forget to raise the salinity again, then you're going to kill your coral. So therefore you risk your coral. And something like a cleaner shrimp is the best thing you'll ever buy, because a cleaner shrimp will help to kill pathogens that are going to be a problem during any of these sorts of issues. So anyway, if you can put a little note on the bottom of this video, what salinity issues have you ever had with your tank? What salinity have you found is too high? What salinity have you found is too low? And put a little note at the bottom of this video.